So my name is Benjamin Todd Jarvis. I'm President and CEO of the NAACP. And what I'm proudest of this year is that our folks in Florida have registered 1 out of 3 voters that we've registered in the entire country. Before Labor Day, we had registered over 100,000 people, and about a third of those were in Florida. And why is that important? It's important. One, Florida's an important state, but the governor of Florida had done everything he could to make voter registration almost impossible. He had his sheriffs threatening our people with jail time if they brought back their forms more than 2 days after they took them out as volunteers. Even when that was the Martin Luther King holiday weekend, they pulled them out on Saturday, they brought them back on Tuesday. Obviously, Monday was a federal holiday. Sunday, the office was closed, as it always is. And the sheriff was standing right there saying that he was going to take our folks to jail because they went out and got their neighbors to sign up to vote. But the forms were more than 48 hours late because, or if you will, had been out for more than 48 hours because of a federal holiday on a Sunday. And that's not about vote integrity. That's about voter intimidation. It's about suppressing the vote. And because of threats like that, of fines, of jail time, literally all the other big groups stopped doing voter registration in Florida throughout the entire spring. But our folks kept on pushing, risked jail time, risked fines, to make sure that their neighbors could register to vote. Why? Because they remember who Harry and Harriet Moore were. And if you've forgotten, this was a couple, leaders of the NAACP in Florida, 60 years ago, blown up Christmas Eve, 1951, while leading a big black voter registration drive, in the black community in Florida. Vandals packed dynamite to the roof of the crawl space beneath their bedroom and blew them up, killed both of them that night. And many of our leaders there, who are retirees, who are in their 70s, remember Harry and Harriet Moore, who are in their 50s, grew up with people still grieving their loss. And so this time around, when this governor sent his sheriffs to threaten our people, they stood their ground, they registered voters, and they got the job done. And so we've registered again over 100,000 people before Labor Day, more than 30,000 of those in Florida. But I'm proud of our folks across the country. Folks in Georgia stood up to similar threats. Folks in Mississippi working in hard conditions every day, registering thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I'm proud of our folks in Pennsylvania who are standing up to voter ID right now and making sure that schools change their ID cards in time for this fall. Colleges across the state, so students' votes won't be suppressed. Making sure that folks in churches across the state are getting the information out about the need for people to get their IDs. And I'm proud of our folks in places like Texas and Wisconsin who have followed lawsuits to challenge voter suppression laws there successfully in validating those laws. The vote is sacred. The vote is the right upon which our ability to defend all of our other rights is leveraged. And when people try to take it away from you, they do that for a reason. They do that because your vote is important. It's decisive. It literally can determine the future of the country, because who becomes president determines who becomes a Supreme Court justice, determines the future of voting rights, the future of affirmative action, the future of women's rights in this country. And that all comes back to your vote and you defending your vote. And so this year, yes, it's about voter registration. It's about GOTV. It's about election protection and stopping the sort of intimidation that happens on election day. But it's also about stopping the greatest wave of voter suppression legislation that we've seen in over a century. And this year, we've seen more states try to pass more laws that would push more voters out of the ballot box than at any point in the past 100 years. And that's because the black vote is important, the Latino vote is important, the youth vote is important, senior citizens' votes are important. They've attacked every single demographic this year that made up the surge in 2008. And if you were part of that surge, if somebody you care was part of that surge, understand that they attacked your vote because your vote is important, and you need to defend your vote, you need to register to vote, you need to turn out to vote, and you need to bring your friends with you.